I, Emperor Gaius Julius Caesar II of the Romans, champion of the sun, servant of all gods, speaker to the Almighty, bringer of the water, forester of the desert, bridge between the faiths, Imperator Messiah, whom they call Emmanuel, and second coming of the Savior whose herald escaped from hell to turn against the devil himself. Hereby leave my last will and testament to be read publicly before the people in the event of my death against the Antichrist, Enrico Dandolo, Doge of Venice. Though my time with you was short, I gave my life gladly for the sake of not only the Romans, but of the world. Truly, it was the union of all of us that has allowed us to overcome the devil. Regardless of our respective beliefs, our cultures, our languages, all together we have defeated the end of days. Now, we may once again expand, hand in hand, into a peaceful future, together. Now, as never before, we have all been connected in our struggle against the devil himself, against the very extinction of humankind. In the brief time I was honored to rule, I like to believe I have done nothing against the goodwill and well-being of the people. And so I humbly request the people to accept my wishes herein, regardless of how ridiculous they may seem. Please trust me one last time, as I am now trusting you, all of you throughout the entire world, to carry out the legacy that I have set down. Together, we are greater than the sum of our parts, our strength lying in our collective diversity, our respective perspectives, and our cooperation between peoples. I now entrust you with this future. To my fellow Romans, as my heart is with all of you, from my own treasury, I grant each and every man, woman, and child who calls themselves a citizen of Rome 100 denarii to do with as they please. May the gods, each and every one, smile ever on the Roman people. From my own treasury, I also commission a grand library to be built atop the ruins of the Hagia Sophia for the education and enlightenment of the people at large, without limitation to visitors by either station or sex. May this gift enrich your minds for eternity. To each of those who took part in the final battle and survived to this day, in thanks for their efforts against the Antichrist from my own treasury, I grant 75 denarii. To each and every one of them, I also bestow recognition on their status as saviors of the world by extending to them Roman citizenship. To those non-Romans who scoured the countryside for the war effort and who maintained the logistics and supply lines, from my own treasury, I grant 50 denarii and bestow upon them recognition as friends and allies of Rome in perpetuity, so long as they maintain the peace. Without their vital efforts, the war could have not been won, and in recognition of this, I also bestow upon each of them a breeding pair of either sheep or goats to assist in their rehabilitation and resettlement wherever they so find themselves. To each of the Britanniae, Caledoniae, Scotiae, Maniae, Hiberniae, Scandiae, and all other northern and northwestern peoples who fought against the tyranny and villainy of King John, but did not take part in the final battle or the logistics of the campaign, I, from my own treasury, grant 25 denarii. Furthermore, I extend to these people the position of kin to Rome, now so close to us that their people and the Romans may intermingle and cross our borders without suspicion or molestation. Henceforth, these great people are to be seen as honorary Romans, welcome in our lands, welcome in our homes. Concerning the New World and its people, let it be said, in no uncertain terms, that I am not a colonizer who seeks to journey across the seas and see other lands only to overturn their ways and destroy their cultures. Let the Romans be no threat to the people across the waves, but instead may we extend our hands in trade and friendship. Let every detail of their ways be studied and recorded as closely as possible, so that their cultures and languages may be shared the world over, to be cherished by those with a thirst for knowledge and mutual humanity. Let their practices and passions never be permitted to fade into obscurity. To the people of the Empire of Zimbabwe and its collective sodality, from my own treasury, I grant sufficient funding and labor to build a grand structure for their embassies, to be erected in Alexandria alongside the site for a new great library from which commercial writing enterprises may rise concerning the spread of knowledge and literature in collaboration with the Zimbabweans. And the name of this institute shall be the Library of Obisanya. May their translators and scholars always be welcome in the libraries of Constantinople, so long as they follow the creed of equal exchange laid down by the son of their emperor. To the remaining soldiers of the Confederation of Free Nations, who were sent to the islands of Inferno to retake them from Satan's most wicked minions, you have shown time and again that your first citizen is wise and forthright, and that he only sends the very best. May the borders of the Confederation never be assailed by the Romans. Henceforth, they shall be granted a pact of friendship, and offered an alliance of eternal peace. To the Samrat Chakravartin of the realm of Shiva, formerly known to us as the land of Hindustan, I extend a pact of peace to be sustained until my youngest heir comes of age. If he breaks this pact, then he is not my son. But if he maintains this pact, then he is my son. Furthermore, let it be known to all that the people of Shiva are able diplomats and honest traders who will always be welcome to ply their wares in Roman ports, so long as my heir maintains the pact. To the Sand Mambo of the Empire of Zimbabwe, all I have to offer which would matter to you is the statement that you can't see me. However, with that in mind, from my own treasury, I offer the paltry sum of 5,000 denarii to busy him whilst he mulls over my parting statements. To the Jews, let it be known that the Solar Emperor has always and ever been a friend to the Jews, that they have been welcome in Roman lands since the outbreak of this dreaded conflict, and shall continue to be so. For their troubles, I have arranged for the breed and birth of the red heifer, to be delivered to Jerusalem within 3 years' time, whereupon it will mark the foundation of the third temple, which shall be paid for from my personal treasury. And there the Jewish people will, by the might of Rome, call that place their home, henceforth unto eternity. And there they shall be protected and serve as an integral part of the Roman Empire, cherished and nurtured for their talent and unique cultural perspectives. To Emperor Longduck of Serica, in the world's greatest time of need, and despite the difficulties of your own position, you found the capacity to offer no less than 100 trained commanders to assist in the war against Satan. From my own treasury, I would extend to each of them 10 denarii as thanks for their service, and gift each a horse of their choice from the imperial stables, with exception to my own personal steed from the final battle, if she still lives. And to you, as thanks for your contributions to the defeat of the Antichrist, I have laid down orders to establish a number of active trade networks through which Serica and the Roman Empire might renew the thriving transit between our cultures once enjoyed by our ancestors at the height of our respective civilizations, henceforth to be known by all as the Silk Road, the Steel Path, the Stone Circuit, and the Glass Route. Finally, to all people not previously mentioned that still lie within the scope of my power, from my own treasury, I bestow 5 denarii in hopes that it will assist in the reconstruction of your new lives after this most horrific of periods. All those who so desire a place in the Empire shall always have it. As I can no longer be present in his upbringing, I would adopt the boy Gaius Octavianus, who shall receive, in cooperation with my other heir, all of my lands and all of my property, all of my titles, and all other assets afforded to my heir as Emperor of the Romans not otherwise mentioned above. He is legally and spiritually my one and only son, and my name shall be his name until the completion of his training, Whereafter, my other heir will inform him of my further requests as dictated by a supplemental will I have sealed and ensured shall remain private to both parties until it is thereby invoked. He may be young, but he is already regarded by many as a genius. Those who do not respect my wishes of his ascension to the throne are to be damned by the very demons that I have personally slain and returned to the hell from whence they came. To ensure his upbringing is to my standards, and to ensure eternal peace and cooperation amongst our peoples, I also formally adopt the Empress of Persia, Su Keola Rose Grey, as my second primary heir to become Empress of the Romans and regent to my heir until he comes of age. However, in order to accept this inheritance and take her role as the Empress of Rome, she must marry the young Gaius Octavianus immediately and share in the rulership of the Romans with him. She shall, by way of a council of 6 chosen specialists, be encouraged to maintain the way of the Romans in her rulership, and equally so to remain true to her vows to my son and heir for the maintenance and retention of her title as Empress. Those who do not respect my wishes for her ascension to Empress of the Romans are hereby cursed with disapproval and misfortune, that your days shall never be convenient nor pleasant until you accept that this is the will of the sun. To end this, I will have it known that I have constructed a private will for matters not concerning the public, which has been entrusted to the High Pontifex of the Caledonii, who will act as an unbiased executor to carry out my last wishes amongst my friends and family. Any other wills remaining to be read after my passing and the execution of these first documents have already been left with the appropriate parties and will be revealed whenever the appropriate conditions have been met. Rest assured, my fellow Romans, that there is nothing in my private will that will concern the future of the empire. Merely that which concerns old friends and beloved companions. To your lives go all of you. Rome shall prevail unto eternity.